What's up, YouTube? It's Jodo Jake. Welcome back to the channel. So this is episode 2 of Cards and Coffee. I have an Americola. Yeah, Americola. It's kind of like an espresso tonic, but with cold brew. Anyways, today I brought my laptop, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the news that we got this morning. I swear, it's like every day there's something new happening, and there was two big announcements today. And the first one I want to talk about is this mega victory bell. Now, don't get me wrong, this is gonna come off like I'm being um I don't know, I'm just going against the grain, but I'm sure most people did not like this mega. I kind of do. I kind of do. I understand the design. I think it's different. I mean, it's Victory Bell. I mean, what did we expect from a mega Victory Bell? I'm sure there's some fan art that looks just incredible that came after this, but I thought the initial announcement was great and how they did it. Pokemon basically created I don't know, a little short that looked like it was taken in like an horror, like haunted house, where these two characters went through a building and they saw all this like purple poison ink that smelled sweet. But it was giving me Resident Evil vibes. It was really cool to see Pokemon take that approach with such a rated, GPG IP. But yeah, this is what we got. We got the Mega Victory Bell. We saw it in game. We saw it in the announcement video, and I don't know. It's fun. It's Pokemon. It's goofy. It's silly. We haven't seen like some epic, crazy, badass Mega yet, but I'm sure those will come. Legends EA comes out October 16th. We're going to get more announcements the closer and closer we get to the release. Now, the second thing I really wanted to talk about is probably a much bigger deal to the TCG, and that is the Team Rocket's Moltres EX Ultra Premium Collection. First of all, Moltres is probably my least favorite of the birds. There are only maybe 3 cards that come to mind that I actually really like of Moltres. Um, and most of them are, you know, I don't want to say, well, 2 of them is one from Skyridge. I love the Skyridge Moltres. And the second's probably the Destin's rival Team Rocket Moltres, and probably the Team Rocket's Moltres from Team Rocket Returns. The UPC looks fantastic. I think it looks really, really good. I think from a display standpoint, I think from a graphic design standpoint, it's phenomenal. Um, I love it. Looks like the R is like holographic and it's embossed or something like that, and it's got this like slide out insert. I love the early 2000s like flames. Gives me Chester tattoo flames on his wrist. R.I.P. Chester from Linkin Park. But I think that this UPC looks fantastic. It's not the most popular Pokemon, but it's got eye appeal, that's for sure. But I think the biggest thing about this UPC is something that's never been done so far. It's the first of a kind, and I don't think it's going to be the last. And my initial thoughts is, oh, Pokemon is taking off the gloves. They're going to play a little dirty, and they're going to give us a stamped promo version of a special illustration rare. And that is exactly it. So we're getting 3 promos in this UPC. We're getting the regular Team Rocket's Moltres EX. We're getting the full art Moltres EX, and we're getting the special illustration rare EX that comes from Destin Rivals. Yes, we are getting a special illustration rare in a UPC from a set that's already out, and it will have the Destin Rivals stamp, and that's huge. That's going to affect the market on the card from the set. I've always been bullish on stamps, and I think that the stamp is going to do better than the card from the set. I think the card is probably going to suffer a little bit of a dip from this announcement. It'll be interesting to watch. I think we don't have a release date for this. And as like Team Rocket Destined Rivals esque as this UPC is, it actually has a variety of Scarlet and Violet packs, ranging all the way back from Scarlet and Violet base. So we're getting 18 packs that go as far back as Scarlet and Violet base to, I believe, Destined Rivals. I don't believe it has any of the holiday sets, so you won't see 151, you won't see Paldean Fates, you won't see Prismatic in this, or Black and White. But yeah, very cool to see. It comes with a playmat, some dice, and I mean, the things that people care most about are those promos and the variety of Scarlet and Violet packs. But yeah, this is one of the best looking UPCs so far. I know, like I said, it's not the most fan favorite Pokemon. It's not the favorite of the three birds for most people. Um, Sorry, and I apologize to my Moltres fans, but I do think that it looks fantastic, and I will own one of these. Um, and yeah, like I think I will be picking up a lot of the sealed packs. I assume that the three cards will come the way that the Charizard UPC promos came in, just like a single cellophane versus like, having three separate cards and three different cellophanes, which I'm all about. Like, I love being able to condense things down. I was buying a lot of Charizard UPC promos when those things dipped quite a bit. I bought them anywhere from like $8 to $18 at some point. I sold off a bunch. I never graded any because I had picked them up in tens. I had a really hard time finding gradable copies of these. One of my buddies, Brody, out in Australia, he's someone that I met through Instagram because I found out he was also trying to do every single alt art from Sword and Shield 2. So we bonded over that, knowing that we have a special appreciation for like completing the alt arts from Sword and Shield. And he's had it tough with those promos. He's in Australia, so he already has to deal with a lot of the things that are happening, with tariffs and whatnot, and like PSA shutting its business down outside of the U.S. for a bit. I believe that they did. I can't remember exactly, but it was really expensive for him to submit, so I think he paused. And yeah, I know that those promos were really hard. I can't remember which ones he's actually graded in tens. Hopefully, he's completed those. I actually plan to bring Brody on to do one of my first lives on my channel soon, just so that we can talk about alt arts, talk about our strategy in collecting those and grading those, and our you know problems along the way, and how we overcome those in order to complete that collection goal. Now, he's very close. I don't think he's quite there yet, but he is getting there. And I feel for him because a lot of cards have just taken off recently. I felt it, a year ago, year and a half ago. So I can only imagine, how difficult it is now as Sword and Shield continues to go up. But yeah, that's sort of the news that I wanted to talk about. And then aside from that, like lately, I've been thinking about how as hot as the market is and as many opportunities as there are, I think it's important to know and understand that it's okay to not take advantage of every single opportunity out there. Uh, I I would dabble in a few here and there, or even pause at times. Like, the grind never stops in this space, and like I said, there's always opportunity no matter what kind of market we're in. And I think that, for me, I've been more so just selling stuff as of late, in terms of what I'm buying. So for those that don't know, I come from like a graphic design background. So I have like a different take on sealed product, as I was collecting a lot of it sealed during the Sword and Shield era. I was buying a lot of it just from eye appeal. And there are certain things that I just knew would do really well. And I wish I had, gone deeper on those, of course. Like, for instance, the EV VMAX collection boxes from, I think it was Evolving Skies release. Now, in EV Heroes in Japan, they got Jolteon, uh, Flareon, and Vaporeon Vs in their EV set, but the VMAXs were a lot. I think they were. part of a prize that you'd win, like in a tournament. Like there was only like 3,000 copies of each, if I remember correctly, something like that. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I vaguely remember that. But in Evolving Skies, we didn't get any of the Gen 1 EVs in our set, and those came in those collection boxes. And to me, those collection boxes are absolutely beautiful. Like I'm a sucker for those alt arts in the first place. And the fact that we got alt arts in a collection box, those were retailing, I think, for about 40, 50 bucks, if I remember correctly. I think I picked all three of mine up for, well, I ripped a set to grade the promos, and I don't think I ever ended up grading those promos. I think I ended up selling them. Um, but I ended up buying another set of those boxes around 70 bucks a piece, if I remember correctly. But I was super picky. I was looking for promos that were just well centered in the box, and I still have them. I bought some cheap cases that foldable cases to protect them, because those collection boxes, unless you have something to protect them, they're gonna get bent up a little bit. They have a lot of like different little like edges that can get caught on things. So yeah, I have those, and and what I'm rambling about is that I've been really enjoying some of the 3-pack blisters that we got throughout the Scarlet and Violet era. I made a video like 2-3 weeks ago about everything that the Scarlet and Violet era brought, and I missed one of the biggest things that and I'm pretty sure I missed this. One of the biggest things that I had a note for that I never added to the video, and that was the fact that they brought back Cosmo Holo, Cosmo Holos in borders back from like the early EX era, and we haven't seen that in a long time. And I'm a sucker for Cosmo. I think it's just pulling on the nostalgia strings like big time. And there's a lot of great Cosmo Holo cards in the Scarlet and Violet era. We got the starters in the 151 poster collection. We got the original Eevees in the 3-pack. I think that's a poster collection as well, from Prismatic. And there's some like random ones that I think just look really good. I think there's the Cleffa from Temporal Forces 3-pack blister. There's the Arcanine from the Scarlet and Violet base. And one of the ones that I didn't know much about, and I couldn't find it on TCG Player, but it's a Pikachu that is, I believe, a non-holo or a reverse holo in Temporal Forces that was part of a Surging Sparks lunchbox, and it was a promo as a Cosmo, and it's phenomenal. I'll make sure to put that on screen. I can't find like a scan of that card. It's mostly just going to be like people taking photos of it, but it's a nice card. And one thing about these promos is they are hard to grade. Do I think the demand is there like something like the EV collection box promos? Absolutely not. But do I think that there are collectors that are going to want these? Absolutely. We're seeing like Pokemon Center do Pokemon Center stamped Cosmo cards. Like we saw the Tyranitar, the Team Rocket's Tyranitar, and they're just they're I think they're underappreciated, or there's not a lot of attention on them. And I understand they're half arts, right? Like people want the whole card to have art on it these days. But yeah, I've been picking up a lot of the 3-pack blisters. I picked up some Temporal Forces. I picked up some uh what was it? Paradox or Paradox? I think it was Paradox too, of the just single pack blisters. I was doing this back in Sword and Shield too. I think I have probably like 30 Silver Tempest single pack blisters, and I'm not talking about the sleeve packs, the hangers. I'm talking about the actual plastic on the cardboard with the promo and the coin. Um, why do I buy these? I think it's really just comes down to the nostalgia again. I really enjoy the old blisters from WotC era. I own a potentially shadowless Blastoise art from base set, that I traded some like Champions Path ETBs back a couple years ago. And then I also have all of the jungle pack arts in blisters, as well as the fossil blisters. And one day I would like to own, this is a niche one, but I would like to own the Team Rocket blister. Yes, you heard that correctly. The thing is, it's in French. It's not in English. They never came out with a English blister of Team Rocket, which was really sad. But I'll make sure to find an image of that because it's actually really cool. It's an all black blister. I think there's Jesse and James on it, or I know there's an Ekans or a Coughing. Um, but yeah, it's really cool to see. I wish that was in English. I'd totally buy an art set of that. But yeah, I've been buying those things like that. I think I have Lost Origin too, like nearly 20 of those blisters. Can't remember what promos they came with, but I made sure to like do like 50 this, 50% that one. But if it's like, for instance, Destined Rivals, I've been buying a few of those. But there is a EV promo, and then there's another Pokemon that is, I think it's Zebstrika. It might be a different Pokemon. I can't really remember. But obviously, I went with just EVs on those. I have an art set of those. I just think it's this is me being a dusted collector. It's not me being an investor. You know what I mean? Like I just know that I'm gonna want those in the future. Like the future me is gonna want those, so I better protect him from that and not having to spend extra down the road. And I'm not going like all in on like blister packs or sleeve packs. Like I do think that is value there, especially with Sword and Shield right now. I think the price per pack for some of these sets like Fusion Strike and Evolving Skies are very different from the price of their booster boxes. Do I think that that gap is going to close? Yes. And I wouldn't like bet that we're ever going to get to the pack price as the booster box price, but there is value there if you're looking to buy packs, loose packs or sleeve packs. I would stick to sleeve packs. I would avoid loose packs if you can, with especially something like Evolving Skies, unless it's a trusted person that you're comfortable buying from, and you know the source of those packs. But aside from that, like yeah, I like to buy those products that probably don't get a lot of attention. They typically sit on the shelves of LGSs and card shops, but here and there I'll just pick a few up that I like, and I've been constantly doing that just because, I mean, I don't feel comfortable buying a lot of ETBs are bulky, especially regular ETBs. I don't typically buy them unless they're like something from Costco. Those Costco drops have just great value. I did just purchase a bundle of the Surging Sparks bundle ETBs and booster bundles. I think it's like 30 packs. It comes with two ETBs, two bundles. It's like $120, something like that. I think that's getting delivered today. But I typically don't like to buy ETBs anymore. I was doing that with in Sword and Shield, and I told myself in Scarlet and Violet I'm only going to do Pokemon Center ETBs. And aside from Team Rocket or Destined Rivals, I've stuck to that. I think I may have one prismatic regular ETB. I don't have any regular 151 ETBs, but I do have like 6 of the Pokemon Center ones. And when it comes to that, what I'm saying is I'm a dusted collector at times, and that's okay. You don't have to be a dirty flipper investor, uh, printing all the time. I think it's important to appreciate the hobby for what it is, no matter how crazy the market is. I haven't been buying a lot of singles. My goal is to buy some of the Black Bolt White Flare in the coming months. I think it'll be interesting to see what's printed for the holiday season, and where those prices land after we've had a little bit more product get opened up on the market. It's so interesting though because the way things are, a lot of prices are just staying so strong on singles and sealed, which is so out of the norm because typically we see high prices at pre-release, less high prices at release. We find some balance to, some support lines to some of these cards, and then a lot starts to trickle down. But that hasn't necessarily been the case. And it's been quite interesting to see that a lot of the Black Bolt White Flare singles have been pretty strong in that, like, $10 to $20 range, it might be good to look at them again this weekend just to see like where I feel comfortable buying. Like anything below, I don't know, $7 to $8, I think is a buy as far as illustration rares go. And my goal is to complete the illustration rares from that set with time. Um, yeah, I think we're too focused on like just like where's their opportunity, but it's also like instead of just taking action and just pulling the trigger on anything and everything, it's good to like pause and reset and you know even just take a break. I don't think enough people feel like they can take a break in this hobby. It's very hard to because we get so much news like every day. Like for instance, today we had that announcement for Victory Bells Mega. We got the announcement for the UPC, and it's like this every week in the hobby. And that's great. Like it's exciting. Like it keeps things going, but it can be exhausting too. Anyways, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. This is episode 2 of Cards and Coffee, and I hope to keep this going. I hope you guys enjoyed the first one. And until next time, happy collecting. Peace.